Hey, Dave from Bigfoot Videos here. I'm going to do a series of a few little things. And the first one here I'm going to do is, as a Bigfoot researcher, part one, as in assume and assuming. Now, we all know what that means. Assume. Makes an ass out of you and me. Okay? When you're out in the woods doing your Bigfoot researching, don't assume that every tree branch that is broken or every tree bend is bent over or tree breaks or stick standings, and do not assume that this belongs to Bigfoot. In all reality, nature has done this out in the woods, whether you want to think so or not. It has nothing to do with Bigfoot. Zero. So don't assume that. Don't assume that every indentation belongs to a Bigfoot. Don't assume that. See, people make the mistake of, oh, that's a Bigfoot, this isn't whatever, and it is just not true. Don't ever assume all this. You're assuming all of this stuff because you want to believe. And there's nothing wrong with believing. See, you're putting logic and common sense together, which you shouldn't do. Logic goes into one category, common sense goes into another, okay? Don't assume everything that you see out there is Bigfoot. Don't assume that everything somebody tells you is Bigfoot. These so-called experts, which there's many of you out there, that, I'm trying to teach you something, and if you would listen to me, you would learn something. Well, don't assume they are correct, because chances are they're just feeding you a bunch of bullshit. Okay? That's all it is. It's typical pure bullshit. Don't assume that. Don't assume that they are right and you are wrong. But then on the other hand, don't assume you are correct and they are wrong. Don't ever do that. Assuming just makes an ass out of you and me. See what I'm saying? Science assumes there is no Bigfoot. They're assuming there isn't. They're using logic. They're not using their common sense. They put logic, common sense together, they would know something. Okay? So don't ever assume that Bigfoot is in the area you are watching, or looking at, or walking through. Don't assume all these things, because you're just going to make an ass out of yourself. Okay? And these skeptics know it, and they get on you for it. So don't ever assume that everything out there has to do with Bigfoot, because it doesn't. Okay? Trust me. At least that part, I know what I'm talking about. So with that in mind, guys, hey, and gals, because there's some good researcher gals out there. We don't have to name them because we know who they are. There's some good gals out there. But anyways, so let's not do all this assuming. Because like I said, you make an ass out of you and me. And we don't want to do that now, do we? Y'all take care. Special note for me. Love ya. Take care and God bless.